Nobody else joined yet. We're still missing 2 peoples. Can you move my sign forward?
Okay, 543. So on this page, you guys were using the coordinate grid to write an ordered pair. Just stay in here.
What?
I was talking to my dog. 543. Okay. This is one that is the top part we will be able to give answers to where you put your, when you had to label the points, it's a little bit harder for us to check this way. But number 2, I can't remember if we did that one or not, so we'll just start there. Numbers 2 and 3, Pia. What did you get for?
We had 541 for homework, so I don't have 543 done.
Yeah, that's what I did 541 too.
Okay, maybe I wrote it down the wrong way.
I did 541 too.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I remember looking on. I remember I checked Parent Square yesterday, and I saw on Parent Square it said do 543 1 through 24, which is how many there are on 541.
Okay. So Jack, did you do 541 or 543?
I did 541.
Okay, that's fine. I think that is what I said. I wrote it in my book wrong then. Okay. So number 1 we did together. So Pia, how about giving me your answers for 2, 3, and 4?
Number 2, I got parentheses 3, 0, parentheses.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3. Parentheses 9, 9, parentheses, and then 4, 10, parentheses around 10, 5.
Good. That's it. Okay. Any questions on those ones? 2, 3, 4. You guys are okay with labeling? Okay. 5 through 10, you had to put on there. I'm not sure if I hold this up to my camera for like my answer key, if you guys will be able to see it.
Wait, I have a question. Does the y-axis go first, or does the x-axis go first?
X. It goes X, Y. Can you guys see that, or is it not clear enough?
Okay, so in order, you should put the x-axis first. So if I have M, okay, so just for a question. So for number 5, I have M on 9 on the x-axis.
It should be on the y-axis, going up. I think that's the one. Someone did that one for us yesterday in class. You go over 0, up 9, so it's on your y-axis. You put M.
Okay. So then for age, I have 8 on the x-axis and I have 6 on the y-axis.
Yeah, that's right. Over 8, up 6. Put a point and then label it H.
Okay.
Okay, number 7, you're going to go over 10, up 4, put a point and label it K. All right, number 8, over 4, up 5, label it T. Number 9, over 5, up 10, so that's almost to the very top, that's a W. All right, you put the point over 5, up 10, that's where you put a point, you write W next to it. Number 10, over 1, up 3, and you put a point and mark it R. Okay, the next section, they give us a point, you have to label it. Jack, what did you get for 11 and 12?
I got for 11, parentheses 6, 4, or for number 12, parentheses 4, 9. Where'd Alex go?
I don't know. Okay.
What do you do
13 and 14, Grant.
13 and 14.
parentheses 0, comma 7 parentheses, and 14 parentheses 9, comma 5 parentheses.
Good. 15 and 16, Lily.
15, I got 3, 3.
Mm-hmm.
And number 16, I got 6 and 2.
For 16, let me just look at it. I have 5 too. L was over 5 up.
Got 2.
Okay. All right. And then plot and labeling the points. That's just like the ones up top where you're going for W, you're going to go over 8 up 2. For E, over 0 up 4. So that ends up on your y-axis. I want to point out 21, over 4 up 0, R. So R should be on your x-axis. Okay. Does anyone have any questions on plotting and labeling the points?
Nope.
Okay. All right. I'm going to save some of those pages for us to go back to. And we're going to look at the next section where we're going to be graphing some data. Okay, so I want you to look at page 547.
– 547, you said.
Yes. All right, but don't worry, we'll go back to that. We're going to look on page 547. This section is called graphing data. So it says for items 1 through 3, graph the data on the coordinate grid. First thing you have to do is write the ordered pairs for each point. So this time they're not giving us a point. They're giving us this graph, okay? The graph has Ryan's height. It's called Ryan's height, and then it has his age in years and then his height. So age in years is your X and height is your Y. And we're going to make points out of this then. So I'm going to make the point 130. Okay, so this is for number 1, because when he's 1 year old, he's 30 inches tall. Okay, then we're going to do the point 2, comma 35. 2 years old, 35 inches. And 3, 38. 4, 41. 5, 44. So that's all for number 1. First thing you have to do is make points out of your data. All right, in math, they're not always going to put the points in parentheses for us. Sometimes we're going to be looking at a chart and we're making the points, okay? We're writing an ordered pair. Okay, number 2 says, what does the ordered pair 338 tell you about Ryan's age and height? So, Grace, what does that tell you?
That tells me that at 3 years old, he was 38 inches.
Yes, good. So number 2, we're going to say that. At 3 years old, Ryan was 38 inches. All right. And it does tell us to graph the data. So go ahead and put those points on the graph. Okay, so below the chart they gave us, they also gave us this coordinate grid. And the x-axis has age in years, and the y-axis has his height. So go ahead and put those 5 points on the coordinate grid. Okay, putting those on. And Alex, go ahead and make sure you still have, so that I can see you. Don't put that thumbprint picture up. Okay, that way I can see that we're all in class together. Okay, why would the point 642 be non-constraints?
Palmer, what about Jack? His screen's off.
Okay, worry about Alex. I didn't see Jack's, but that's not for you to worry about. Okay, Grace, why would the point 642 be nonsense?
Well, 642 wouldn't make sense because he's growing and that goes down.
Good. Okay. So, yep, let me see. My book says something very similar. It would mean at the age of 6, he would be less than his height at the age of 5. He would have gotten shorter as he got older. Okay. So let's write that. It would mean he is getting shorter as he gets older. Yeah, and when you're growing, it doesn't work like that, right? Unfortunately for Mrs. Palmer, I've stopped going up in height, and mine's going to start going down as I get older. You do kind of shrink as you get older, so it does happen after a certain age.
Isn't that
Your
'cause
height
you're
can go down,
growing?
but not between 4 and 5, or 5 and 6. You're still growing then. Okay. All right. Okay, good job with that. Let's look at the problem solving below. The table shows the depth of the Dakota River at different times during a rainstorm. And they show us this chart. And then does your book show the ordered pairs also? Like they give you a chart, but they also show some ordered pairs? Okay, go ahead and graph those ordered pairs on the graph. So you're just graphing 1, 7, 2, 8, showing the river depth at different times during a rainstorm. All right. Then turn to 549. It says graph the data on the coordinate grid. First, you have to write the ordered pairs. Okay, so for part 1A, you're going to write the ordered pairs in there. The pair 161, 365. I think they may have graphed 2 of them for you, the first 2, and then you have to graph the rest.
Wait, where is this?
This is on page 549.
Oh.
Yeah, we're skipping around a bit. Okay, so for part 1, you're writing those, okay? And then you're going to graph them on the chart. Part B asks us this question. How would the ordered pairs be different if the outdoor temperature were recorded every hour for 4 consecutive hours? So what would be different about this answer, Alex, if instead of this, they did the outdoor temperature every hour for 4 hours? How would number 1A look different?
Number 1A. So at 1 hour it's 61. So I'm guessing you go 4, then 6, then 4, then 7, right?
Well, we're doing 1B. You're answering how would the ordered pairs be different if the outdoor temperature were recorded every hour for 4 consecutive hours. So instead of having 5 ordered pairs, how many ordered pairs would we have?
So you have 5 there. 4 consecutive hours, you would have 4 there, right? Doesn't that
Yeah.
work?
Yeah, so we would have 4 ordered pairs. So that goes for part B. And how would the label look different on our graph? Or how would our graph look different? Like right now we have dots at 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Where would our points be? Which hours, Alex?
Your first point? Well, the first one would be 161, so that would be right up there, right?
Okay, yep. But if we did, it's not as, they're making it sound complicated. How would it look different? We would have 4 ordered pairs. We would record the temperature at hours 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think they made that one a little harder. I'll hold that up so you guys can put that in for 1B. They make that just a little bit complicated.
For ordered pairs.
Okay. Okay. I think you guys are okay even with graphing those ordered pairs. So we're going to take a few minutes and look at the next section that has line graphs. Okay. So I want you to look on page 551. 551.
Sorry, what did you say?
Page 551. We're going to talk about line graphs, and I just want to go over some of these definitions that are highlighted on that page. Bernadette, could you read us the paragraph that says a line graph is a graph that uses line segments?
Sure.
Thanks.
A line graph is a graph that uses line segments to show how data changes over time. The series of numbers placed at fixed differences that label the graph or the graph scale. The interval or difference between one number and next to the scale should be equal.
Good. Okay. So this section is talking about line graphs, and the scale is how you number your graph. Like sometimes you number it by 1s. You might number by 2s, or you might need to number by 5s or 10s or 100s. It just depends on what your data looks like. But whatever you choose, the interval has to be the same. Like I can't start going up my y-axis and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, but like keep them the same distance apart. Okay, so the intervals have to be the same. If I count by 2s, I have to count by 2s. If I count by 5s, I have to count by 5s. Okay, you can't keep changing it. The other thing I want to show you on that page is look at the line graph that they made, and it says recorded temperatures.
Wait,
And
I have a question. So the interval is the middle dot, right?
Say that again. The interval is the
middle. So like
the interval is how you number the difference between one number to the next. So when you're numbering your graph, the interval is, do you count by 1s? Do you count by 2s? Do you count by 3s?
Okay.
Okay. At the very bottom of the recorded temperatures line graph that they drew there, there's this like thing at the bottom. It looks choppy, like they took a little cut out of the graph. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's called a break in the graph. That's just saying there is not any data between 0 and 40. So there really wasn't any data until 44. And they didn't want to make their scale go. They wanted to count by twos because it was important as you got towards 44, 46, 48 to count by twos. But there would have been nothing between 0 and 40, just like blank space. So sometimes you can do that when you're making a graph. All right, you make this little thing right here called a break in the graph. Looks like a jagged little edge. And that means, all right, here's 0. And then there were like a bunch of numbers before 40, but there was no data in there. So I just want to let you know there was a break in the graph. But one more thing I want you to answer before you leave me today is at the, although I don't know if they have yours graphed all the way yet. So we might have to put our numbers in. The first thing it says is write related number pairs for the data. It looks like a little purple box up top. They did 1 o'clock, 51 degrees. Is the rest of that not filled in for you? Could you fill that in? So under 1 o'clock, 51 degrees. Well, next to that, put 2 o'clock, 49. Okay, go ahead and fill that in. So you're doing 2 o'clock, 49, 3 o'clock, 47, 4 o'clock, 44, okay, all the way to 7 o'clock. All right, so your box should look like that.
So we should write all these down.
In that little purple box that says write a related number pairs of data. You see it, Irfan?
Okay.
Those should go in there.
Wait, I'm not done yet.
All right. You can also look on your page because they give you the chart. So it's in your book. Are you done with it, Grant? All right, good. Okay. I'm going to start reading where it says step 1. Step 1, for the vertical axis, choose a scale and an interval that are appropriate for the data. You can show a break in the scale between 0 and 40 since there are no temperatures between 0 degrees Fahrenheit and 44 degrees Fahrenheit. And they labeled it, they numbered by twos. That kind of makes sense because once they get past 40, we have 47, 44, 45, 44, 46. So numbering by twos is okay. I think they could have numbered by ones, and that would have been fine also. But they wouldn't want to number by like 5s or 10s or anything bigger because you wouldn't be able to show the difference in the data very well. Step 2 says for the horizontal axis, write the times of the day. They put that in there for you. And a title for the graph. They called it recorded temperatures. Name each axis. They named one time in the AM and the other temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. Complete the graph by connecting the points with line segments. So they put, I think, the first 3 points in for you, up to 3 o'clock, 47 degrees. So I need you to fill in those last 4 points. So go over to 4 o'clock and put a point at 44 degrees. A point at 4 o'clock, 44 degrees. And 5 o'clock, 45 degrees. So that goes like halfway between 44 and 46. 6 o'clock, 44 degrees. Put that point in. 7 o'clock, 46 degrees. Right? And then connect your points. So it looks like what you're going to add in is going to look like this wide, fat W. Okay, now look at the line segments that you drew on the graph. Find the segment that shows the greatest change between 2 points. It's going to be like the steepest part of the line. Where does the line look the steepest? Like if you were riding a bike on that part of the hill, it would be the steepest part. So take a look at your graph. The part that they drew and the part that you put in, your part should look like this wide W. Pia, where do you think the great
Between 47 and 44.
between 47 and 44? Okay, and what time of day is that?
3 to 4.
Good. Perfect. Put that in at the very bottom of the page, between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. That's the steepest part of your graph. That means that was the biggest change. So when we make a line graph, we could tell where the biggest change happens by looking at the steepness of the graph. Just pretend like you're riding a bike down those hills, or up the hills. And where's it the steepest at? And Pia, that was a good job, between 3 and 4. Okay. What you're going to do tonight, since we just started the line graphs, your homework's not on that. I'm going to have you do page 543. That's labeling the coordinate grid again. Okay. Page 543, numbers 1 to 24. That'll be very similar to what you did last time.
24? 1 to 24?
You mean
1
1
to
to 14? It's not 24.
Page 543.
1 to 15.
1 to 4.
1 to 15.
1 to 15.
1 to 15. Then do page 544.
Wait, so wait, the pages are.
I'm gonna write it down. I'll hold it up for you, Irfa. All right. It sounds like more work than it is, because on page 543, where you're plotting those points, that 1 to 15, that won't take you too long.
And
Okay.
544?
Yeah.
Oh, and
I know.
550.
Yeah.
544, 1 to 6, and 550, 1 to 6.
No, 553, 43.
No, she's got more up there. See those?
Uh-huh.
Okay, 543, 1 to 12. And then 544, 1 to 6, 550, 1 to 6.
It's a little. Oh, you fixed it.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Can you pull it back up a
No,
little?
I think
bit?
we're.
Sorry. No.
Okay. If you get stuck, you can come see me between 2 to 3, or send me an email if it's like after that. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Have a good day.
Bye. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.